So there we go. I varnished over all of this, and it's proving to work. And I think varnishing the tiller was a better idea. That's looking good. You can see everything's starting to get a lovely shine back again, and that will be because the varnish will have covered those scratches and keyed in. So now we just got to get coat number 2 on. Oh, it's quite cold today. Temperature's taking a bit of a dip, he says, wearing his t-shirt. I need a screwdriver. So today I'm going to get these taken off, my old shrouds taken off here, and I need to just obviously take this little whatever that's called, flag kind of arrangement off there as well. Okay, that was it was actually easier to cut across the shroud itself. So let's just got to be careful that's not too warm. And then these should just bend off. There we go. Get a little bit of a gap in there. There we go. So that's one done. Go. Easy peasy. So that's the old shroud off. Right, so there's the 2 halyard cleats off, and then this line we can just make good, and we can use that again. There we go. Right, so we've got the line off, the 2 cleats off, and then these are just the old halyards. We need to put some new halyard telltales on, but I might kind of take those off and reuse them perhaps. I'm sure we can reuse those. Yeah, they're just taped on, aren't they? So the ribbon, there we go, are off. And then these halyards are kind of are kind of rubbish now. It's a shame the new ones aren't spliced on like that. They're lovely, aren't they? Proper spliced. I have to learn to do that. But the new ones, I think a bowline will suffice. I wonder whether I should keep that. Probably keep that line. I'll chop that line off as well. My standing knife is in the garage at the moment though. So you can just get these little wire brushes are actually quite good, and you can just give it a wire brush just to clean off all the corrosion if you want, just like that. Just you can see, there's a little top layer coming off, and you can see already that's quite good condition. This is nowhere near as in bad condition as the halyards jaws were, actually. So it's probably because it spends its life high up, right out the way of most of the water, but then at the same time I guess it does get the rain. It's constantly exposed during the season because I don't take the mast down. But then you can use a little bit of Autosol if you want. It is really messy though, this. It goes absolutely everywhere. I know you can't see that. I need to get the camera the other way around. Here we go. But yeah, you can see how the Autosol kind of gives it a little polish. No cloths. Let's just use this little bit of towel. There we go. You can see you do get a little bit of shine on it. But anyway, that's the general idea. To be honest with you, I think it's a better finish without the Autosol. just want to get rid of this little white. I say it's not corrosion, it's really where the zinc's done its job. But it doesn't harm just to give this a little clean up. There we go. Now, here's the screw that went in. So I've just got one of them. You can see they go in about there. But I've got these screws. I thought I'd just take the opportunity to use slightly longer screws. But I wonder if they're going to end up, you know, being too close in the middle, to be frank. I mean, I just like to do things a bit more... Always like to belt and brace things. I think they're too close in the middle. So I've got some the same size. Let me go and swap these screws over. I think they're a little bit too long and overkill. Here we are. So these are the actual correct size. And they'll just go in there. Countersunk. And now when you actually put them in, you can see they're probably as good as anything. All they've got to do is stop this from rotating. And even then... the shrouds themselves stop this from rotating. You know, actually earlier luggers were very similar to the mirror, where they just had like a round collar that went over the top. So they're going to be perfect. Let's go and get this. Let's go and have a look at the mast, and let's go and see if we can get this on the mast now. I've got to kind of duck and dive underneath these. They're still... Oh, actually, they're kind of dry, so yeah, that's not too bad then. So it doesn't matter. I'm not going to ruin yet another t-shirt crawling around here, hopefully. So here's the masthead, and that's, I guess, the screw height will tell us. Oh yeah, gosh, they're gonna struggle to get that on. Let's just try that way round. So the screw height is definitely this way round, because you can see from the screw height. Now, I've got a slight issue with this, is that it wasn't perpendicular. So look at the hole. That's pretty much lined up there. But look at how out of sync the front shrouds were. So I need to actually move that so this one is pretty central. So I think there's going to be just enough room that it's not going to interfere with this. So yeah, this is, unfortunately, we're going to have to tap that on. So I'm going to just leave that and let the varnish dry before we tap that on. And so we'll just have to do it tomorrow. And whatever varnish kind of comes off, it will just have to come off, and that'll be that. We've also got the gaff to put on. So let's have a little look at that. Now, the other thing is, which way does the gaff go? We know... Oh yeah, I didn't bother measuring it because you can see this side's got the screw hole. Okay, so that'll go on like that. Now, this is going to be a little bit tricky. Right, so I've got the camera stood up, and then we can just take that off. And then let's have a little look. I know it's not going to go on there because that little piece, there we go, like that. So this has had two good shots of epoxy and varnish on, just to hold it up, and then we know that screw will go in there. However, I'm going to dip these screws in a little bit of epoxy before I put them in, so we're not going to screw anything up now. We're just going to put things on ready, and then we're going to sort of fill things up. I need to fill those holes at the top of the mast as well, so that's something else I've got to do. Anyway, we're getting there. We've got 2 more coats to go on here. You can see this varnish is starting to look deep and shiny. But yeah, you've got to watch this compass varnish. You know, you've got to spread it quite nicely and be liberal with it. Otherwise, you do get a little bit of matting, as you can see down here. I got this kind of effect with the mirror, didn't I, a little bit? So I think the next coat, go on with coat number 3, and I think we're going to be quite liberal with that coat. We're going to try and get a little bit of depth on it now that we've got the parts, you know, put onto the mast. So not much else to do until tomorrow. So I will see you tomorrow.